Oh, wow. Wow. It's worth that much? Okay. I managed to turn $11,000 into $270,000, and the best part is it's completely tax-free. I don't have to pay any tax on it.
Yes! Yes!
But the sad thing is that the $270,000 could be a whole lot more. And I'm gonna share the potential mistake that I made and hope that I can prevent you from making that same mistake. So you're gonna find out how I did this, and you can too. Let's go ahead and begin. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel, Wealth Hacker Labs. I'm your grateful host, Jeff Rose. I have talked about the Roth IRA for a very long time, and I think it is one of the essential ingredients to have in your wealth hack stack. Here at the Wealth Hacker Lab channel, we're all about how do we accelerate our wealth building, and opening a Roth IRA, funding that Roth IRA is by far one of the greatest things that you can do. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you behind the scenes look of what my current holdings are so you can see this massive gain. We're also going to have a quick refresher on the Roth IRA, just so we are up to speed on how it works and why, if you don't have one yet, you need to run out your door and go get one as fast as you can. And we're also going to take a look at what my investment strategy is going forward. I have a big change or an update that I'm going to be implementing. I'm going to share what that is and also address why, yes, I have a massive gain in my Roth IRA, but it could be a whole lot more. It could be 500,000, hell, it could be close to $1 million. And we're gonna find out what I did wrong and how you cannot make the same mistake that I did. But before we get started, I just wanna share with you, when you're trying to record and your puppies are hanging out in the background, what's going on, puppies? Hey, puppies, hi, say hi, okay. Before I show you the holdings I have in my Roth IRA in this awesome gain, let's first have a quick refresher on how the Roth IRA works. And if you want to know the rules, you can actually head over to my blog, goodfinancialsense.com, and I have a very comprehensive blog post that will run you through everything that you need to know, everything and then some. And this is the actual blog itself that you can take a look. First, common question that I get is, who is the Roth IRA for? Well, I would say that it is for anybody that has the ability to put money into it. And actually, in fact, I have a video that I did a while back where I make a strong case that the Roth IRA is better than a 401k, even if the 401k has a match. Even though that this is common advice that Dave Ramsey and other financial experts talk highly about, doing the 401k, getting a match, then going to the Roth IRA. You can check out that video. I am 100% certain that Dave Ramsey thinks I am crazy.
Jeff, I just think you're kind of crazy.
Now, I won't go into details why I think the Roth IRA is better over the 401k. You can actually check out that video if you want to see my case against that or for that. But as far as what you need to know right now, if you have interest in the Roth IRA, you can put in up to $6,000 per year. So $6,000 per year. You don't have to do that all in one lump sum. You can put in a monthly payment. You can put in, write a check at the first half of the year, the second half of the year. If you can't put in $6,000, that is totally fine too. You don't have to put in the full amount. When I first started off, I wasn't able to max out, I think the first year or two. Eventually I was. But I was putting in as much as I could, and I would encourage you to do the same. Now, if you have questions on the best place to open a Roth IRA, I'll have a link in the description where you can check out. Once again, we have another post on the blog that addresses all the places that you can open a Roth IRA and which ones we think are the best. So be sure to check that out. So I started my Roth IRA when I was still a practicing financial planner. So for those that are wondering, where did I open my Roth IRA and where am I currently holding it? I'm still holding it at the custodian of the investment firm that I founded and have since sold. So that custodian is LPL Financial. That is where my Roth IRA and most of my investments, I have other investments elsewhere, which you've seen here on the YouTube channel. So let's take a look at what my Roth IRA currently is. So right now, as you can hopefully see, Right now I've got my Roth IRA total holdings here. Total value currently is $270,000 and some change. As you can maybe see as well, I don't have a lot of holdings here. It looks like I have 5 holdings. Technically I have 4. One of those is an insured cash account. So I have 4 stocks: Visa, Facebook, Bank of America, and Live Ventures. And this is one of the reasons why I love the Roth IRA over the 401k, is that I was able to pick those stocks. I was able to purchase those stocks because I felt that they were going to give me the most return. Now, if you have a 401k, most likely you don't have access to individual stocks. You could have a self-directed 401k. Those are few and far between. For the most part, you're only going to have access to mutual funds, ETFs, and that's pretty much it. Okay, now that you see the stocks that I own, you probably have already looked at what is the current value of these stocks. And as you can see, the largest holding out of all these stocks by far is Visa. So right now, Visa represents $189,000 of the 270. So that is a huge piece of the pie, a huge chunk. Facebook stock is 65,000, and then the smaller positions of Bank of America, which is only 5,300, and then we got Live Ventures. Now, why I have $7,200 in cash is I have no clue. That is actually really stupid of me, if I have to be 100% honest. I don't know why it's sitting there. I will say that wheels are in motion. I'm going to share what I'm doing with that here in a few moments. Okay, let's talk about my contributions. When I first started funding my Roth IRA, I think I was putting in maybe $50 or $100 a month. And then whenever I was deployed to Iraq, I was able to max it out. And then I hit a point where I couldn't put any more money in. That wasn't because I was broke. That's because I had exceeded the income limits. If you want to know what those limits are, you can head over to that blog post that I mentioned. Once again, link in the description. But how this works, if you are single, once you make over $139,000 for the year, you cannot contribute to the Roth. If you are married, filing joint, the most that you can make is $206,000 a year. So the IRS typically will adjust this number with inflation every year. So when I was no longer able to contribute, it was a little bit less than this. Either way, once I made more than that number, I could no longer contribute. Now, many people, you might feel sorry for me, you might feel bad for me, but the truth is because what the IRS is thinking is that, hey, you make a lot of money, so you shouldn't be able to benefit from the tax-free benefit that Roth IRAs offer. But even if you make more than the IRS allows, there is the backdoor method that allows you to fund a non-deductible traditional IRA and then convert that into the Roth. Now, with my income bracket, it didn't really make sense later on, but when it did make sense is whenever I left my old investment firm when I was a W-2 employee and had a 401k to roll over. It was really one of those perfect times because this is going back to 2008 when the market crashed. So my 401k was down. I think it was down almost like 40%. So whenever I converted it, I ended up paying a whole lot less tax because it was a smaller amount, and then converted that into my Roth IRA. When we start looking at what I invested based on how much I was able to put in, that's what makes this Roth IRA such an amazing thing. Okay, looking at my account. So this is the current value as of today, and the time of this recording is April the 29th. When we click on the overall returns tab, this is based off of yesterday's value. That's why you're going to see these numbers being different. 263. So I'm up about $7,000 today. So talking about net invested dollars, this is what I just love. So I bought 800 shares of Visa. Here is its current price. That's not the price I paid. I think they've had a reverse split there. But total dollars invested was $5,082 for a return, which is actually more than this after today's close, $174,000. So just think about that for 1 second. $5,000 invested turned into 170 for a gain of a total value of 186,000. That's pretty good. Okay, the other stocks here, we have Facebook, about 200 shares, current price 307, so $4,500 invested. Total return 56,000 for a total value of 61,000. And then we got Bank of America. I'm not even sure why Bank of America is in there. Either way, we've got a $4,800 gain there. And then Live Ventures, don't even know where that came from. Somebody I think told me about that stock. Apparently I bought 84 shares. I'm glad that I'm up. I think I was down for the longest time, but those are my current holdings. So I did not purchase an IPO in any of these stocks. I think I tried to get Visa as an IPO, but was not able to get in. So that was purchased after it went IPO. Facebook was purchased also after the IPO. It skyrocketed after it debuted, and then it spiked down, and that's when I picked it up. So Visa though, that was picked up. This is going back to 2008. So 2008 is how long I have owned that stock. $5,000 invested. Once again, total value 186,000 with a gain of 174, which is more after the close today. So if you add all these net invested dollars, 5,000, 4,000, 7,000, 380, 1,500, this is a grand total of $18,846. But since 7,000 of that is just sitting in cash, the truth is I turned $11,608 into the $263 or $270,000 that it is today. I mean, that is a 15x return on my money. And I should be ecstatic about that. And I am ecstatic. Like, I am super pumped that I have made that much. I have not been able to contribute any more to this. Once again, I could have done the backdoor Roth IRA, but the amount that I was making, I would just have paid a lot of tax on the conversion. So I just didn't think it made a lot of sense. I put more focus on how I could make more. I've also been funding a self-directed 401k. I have another video where I share more about that as well if you want to check it out. Okay, so you're probably wondering, like, what am I panicking about, or why am I so upset that I have made all this money? But it wasn't until I looked at another stock where I started to ask the question, is this really the best place to continue to get all of this growth that you would get in growth stocks? Like, I had a lot of growth, but is there something else that could be potentially making me more? So let me go ahead and show you the stock that I was looking at. So if you look at Visa stock, like, it continues to grow. It has continued to make money. And you can go to Google Finance, you can go to Yahoo Finance, whatever, type in Visa or the symbol V, and then you can see this chart. So right now, this is the 1 day, but let's just look back for like 1 year. I mean, that is some really good growth. We can go back to 5 years. Once again, that is awesome. So what exactly is the stock, or what is the stock that was having me have some doubts, was making me second guess that this is the best stock, the best investment to get me the most amount of growth? So once again, if you pull up Google Finance, you can pull up Visa stock, and then you could compare it to any other stock. And the stock that I started comparing it to was Tesla. So we can look over, here is the 1 month chart on Tesla. As you can see, it's about neck and neck. Blue here is Visa, yellow here is Tesla. So Tesla has actually been down in this very short time frame. But let's carry this out just a bit longer. Look at 6 months. Now let's look at 1 year. Just out of curiosity, 5 years. Yeah, I mean, you can see it in the 5-year mark. Let me go ahead and break it out to 1 year. So in 1 year, you can see around June of this year, June of last year, they were about neck and neck. And then all of a sudden, bam, bam, Tesla took off. And you can see where it is almost like a 4-to-1 difference on how much Tesla has made in that time frame compared to Visa. Now, do I think that Tesla still has more room to grow? Yes, but they've had so much growth, and we still have some numbers, that they need to continue to hit to show that consistency. So do I think that they're going to have the same type of growth that we have seen in the last 1 year? they can. I just don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. And I just don't think that that is the best bet. If I am truly looking for something that is going to have that hockey stick like growth that you see here. So then the question is, well, what stock is it? And then also, what do I want to sell? Do I want to sell all of my Visa stock? Do I want to sell some of my Visa stock? Do I want to sell my other stock? Well, that is the thought process that I had to get through, and this is what I ended up deciding. Now, if you checked out some of my other videos, you have probably noticed that I have talked more about cryptocurrency. A couple years ago, I didn't own any Bitcoin. Now I own Bitcoin, I own Ethereum, I have a Coinbase account, I have a BlockFi account. And whenever I saw that this company, Coinbase, going IPO, like that is when I knew that I needed to get some of the action. I knew that I needed to get some of this love. So this is the stock that I feel is going to have this hockey stick type growth, the rocket ship taking off. Right now this stock has been around I think the IPO was the middle of April. So right now it's just about almost 3 weeks. IPO, I think the price around 320, got up to 340. All the investors, everybody that wanted to cash in did, it sold. It has been trending down a tad right now. We're about 294.21 at the time of this recording. So this is the stock that I want to put money in, but now begs the question on how much, and also where is the money going to come from? Because do I want to sell all of my Visa stock? Do I want to sell my Facebook stock? Like, what is the best strategy to take advantage of right now? Okay, looking back at my Roth, taking a look at the stock holdings that I have. Once again, I've got this Live Ventures. It's got about a $2,600 balance. I don't need that anymore, so selling that off. Bank of America, got about a $5,200 position there, selling that off, and then I have the cash that is sitting there. So roughly around 15,000 or so that I have. And I came to the decision where I wanted to purchase $100,000 worth of Coinbase stock in my Roth. So $100,000 is the magic number. I've got 15,000 freed up. So now the question is, where is the rest coming from? So I have Facebook stock and I also have the Visa stock. Now with Facebook stock, as much as I don't love or hate them, I still think that they have hockey stick style growth. They just had an earnings release just last week and they beat expectations by almost $1, which is insane. And yeah, I'm not a big fan of Facebook, but you've got Instagram, you've got WhatsApp, and you have all the other properties that they have. So I think that there is still tremendous growth there. So I'm not ready to sell all of that. So then I made a decision. I'm going to then sell about $85,000 worth of my Visa stock to make up that $100,000 purchase. And I wanted to share this because this is a hard decision for a lot of people, meaning that you have this stock, you have this investment with a big gain. When do you know to sell, and how much of that do you know to sell? And there's a few rules of thumb here. I mean, you hear some people make the argument, well, maybe you should sell off what you put in, so your principal. Now, in my case here, my principal, I put in $5,000 into Visa stock. So I don't care about losing the $5,000. It is like the $175,000 gain that I am more concerned about. So, that is a good rule of thumb. If you put money in and it's doubled or it's tripled, if you take out what you put in, at least now your principal is protected and then everything else is just gravy. But once again, I have such a huge gain that really doesn't apply here. So then the other strategy, I got to give my CPA credit for this one, because he's like, there really isn't a science to it. It's just like, okay, you want to sell some, you don't want to keep it all, so you meet somewhere in the middle. So if I sold off half of my Visa stock here, now that would be more than the 85,000 that I would need. So I don't have to sell off 50%. I just have to sell off 85,000 of the 186 that I have to get me to the $100,000 mark that I want. And that is exactly what I have done. Wheels are already in motion. Actually, at the time of this recording, this has already happened. Actually, I think I executed this last week before the weekend. But this is one of those things where I wanted to do it, but I just felt almost like paralyzed because I've had Visa stock for so long that even though putting all your money in that one stock is risky, is high risk compared to having that diversified and putting that into ETFs and all that fun stuff, like it's still high risk. But comparing that to putting it into something brand new like Tesla or Coinbase in this case, that just felt risky. And it's funny because I've had this stock now for over 13 years. I've actually had this stock almost as long as my oldest son. He was born about 6 months prior to Visa having its IPO. So I've had this thing for so long. So like there is this emotional attachment. And this is one of the reasons what makes investing so difficult for many, because there is that emotional attachment. Now in this situation, I am grateful where the emotional attachment like didn't cost me anything for the most part. You know, there is opportunity cost. I mean, I still made money. I still have this $170,000 gain, which is great. But what if I would have taken some of that money and invested that into Tesla? You know, would my Roth IRA now be 350,000? 400,000, $500,000. I mean, it just depends on how much I took and whenever I took it. You know, timing is everything. So I can't beat myself up too much because once again, I've made money and we can all cry about woulda, coulda, shouldas. You know, there is no, you don't make money thinking about what could have happened. Now, what I have done what I have finally done is taken some of that gain off of the table, and I have redirected that into a new investment that I hope that you're hoping with me, that is going to give my Roth IRA the juice that it needs to take it to the next level. And that is my Roth IRA story. I hope that you found this helpful. If you get anything out of this, the one thing that I want you to get out of is, if you don't own a Roth IRA right now, go out and open one. They are easy to set up. There are so many different providers, online providers, where you can get a Roth IRA started. And if you don't know where to go, once again, check in the description. We have a link so that you can see all of the best Roth IRA providers for you and your money. As always, this is Jeff Rose reminding you that it's your money, it's your life, and only you can make it awesome. Until next time, peace.